Siren. We're underway for the second term at the Heidelberg Golf Club Division 3 Grand Final. Again, it's Gilmore with another tap, and streaming through this time again is Tolley to half forward. Picked up immediately by Jetta. Cool, calm kick out of danger. And now Jordan Proctor's got a heap of space in front of him. Kicks towards the pocket. Chance for Pickett. Had hands onto it. Couldn't complete the mark. Still might be a chance here for the Fitzroy Stars. Clever pick up from Farrett. Snaps towards goal. That's going to be skinny. And it's going to just get its way through for a behind. They'll move to 5-4-34 to Stars. The Raiders are 6-1-37, just 30 seconds into the second term.
Almost did something miraculous as we saw in that first quarter. If you are just joining us, Patrick Farrett kicked 4 goals going against the wind in that first quarter. 4 of the 5 for the Stars. As Desmond brings it at a defensive 50, and a strong mark is taken for the Raiders by Gilmore. Going to move it on quickly to Nicolo. Might be Ericsson, actually. Gets a long kick down the line and does find a target there in Boundy. Gets it back to that man in Ericsson. Now inside forward 50, and there's a free kick that has been paid.
Downfield, I think.
Yeah, it might have even been a hold, and umpire's picking out a yellow card.
Cole Thomas.
So it's Kyle Thomas who's received a yellow card. Didn't quite see the incident there. And it will be a downfield free kick in favour of Old Paradians. And they will have a shot at goal early in this second quarter. We saw Patrick Farrett line up from a similar position early on in this match and kick a wonderful goal with the drop punt. Can the Raiders replicate that one? It's going to send it long to the hot spot. It might even go all the way through.
No.
Just hangs out to the right-hand side. So a minor score each way early in this second quarter. It was Lockie Kerr with that shot for Old Paradians. And it is the Raiders 6-2-38 leading Fitzroy Stars 5-4-34.
So the Martins 4 points. Early stages of this second quarter. Here's Neville Jetta. Sends a booming kick towards the middle of the ground. Went over the head of the pack. That included Farrett, but out the back is Pickett. Takes a bounce, enters 50, sells the candy. Second bounce, Pickett's closing. Pickett misses. Ooh. And after such a clinical start for both teams in the opening term, we've had 3 behinds in the space of 2 3/4 minutes of this second quarter. And the lead is down to 3 points.
It's going to be Desmond once again doing the kick-out duties for the Raiders. She's going to go with a short one this time. And does find a target further forward in the pocket. Goes to O'Sullivan. And now they're going to move to the outer side. There's a holding free kick which has been paid in favour of Gilmore. So the Fitzroy defenders just worried about him having an impact and flying for a big mark. Giving away the free kick there. Gilmore has it defensive side of centre wing on that pavilion side of Laylaw Reserve. Going to go with the handball option to O'Sullivan, who goes over the top to Ericsson. He just paddles it forward, but Norris intercepts and takes that one out of bounds for the Stars. And they'll reset here.
To me, Doug, it's concerning that twice when Gilmore's had the ball in play, he's opted to handball rather than kick down the line. Is he not liking the options he sees ahead of him?
I don't know. It's a bit strange. He's a pretty good field kick as a rule.
He'd love to be kicking to Sam Gilmore. I think that's the problem.
I'm sure it is, as the Stars will win the clearance here through Kane Proctor, ducking and weaving his way through traffic. Handball's okay to Trajkovski, who's 70 out from home. To the pocket he goes, over the back. Chance still for Pickett, tries to swing around. Farrett tight on the boundary. Great handball over to Williamson, tries to duck and weave as well. Still a chance here to impact on the Stars. Lovegrove Hudson with a great tackle. Franz bumped off it. Cleared by the Raiders, but cleared on the full. And both Trajkovski and Williamson straight to the fence, trying to work out who to take it. I think it's in great hands, Alex Williamson.
And it looked like they almost could have got a free kick right at point-blank range right in front of goal, and then straight away they've got a free kick from out of bounds.
So Alex Williamson with his side trailing by 3 points. To put the Stars back in front. He's going to kick from about 45 metres out. Call to play on. Beautiful looking kick. Will it come back? No. Just misses to the right.
And the Stars are still doing okay, but what they're doing is they're not nailing their shots. They really need to do that and take full advantage with the wind.
5-6-36 to the Stars, operating 6-2-38. As they'll look to clear their lines at the moment, the Raiders. They do take it outside defensive 50 now. That ball hangs in the air. Coming in is Healy. Didn't take the mark. Here's Lockie Kerr. O'Sullivan confronted by Trashkovsky. And Healy will take that ball out of bounds for a boundary throw in almost right in front of our commentary position. It's actually between wing and half forward on the broadcast side for the Fitzroy Stars, who trail 5-6-36 to Old Paradians 6-2-38, because we're 5.5 minutes gone in this second term. It'll be Gilmore and Norris again to do the duties in the ruck. Just falls short, but getting a tap is Norris. Crane Proctor. Trajkovsky's had a bit of it in this second term. Can they keep this ball in play? Williamson does really well. Goes all the way back to Kane Proctor. Gets the left foot that he wants. High ball inside 50. Farrant leapt well. Didn't take the mark. Roves his own footy, but slipped and caught high. Sloppy free kick given away by Lewis Franz, because he's given Patrick Farrant an opportunity. He'll kick, though, from 50. It might be the best of the lot if he nails it from here.
Well, yeah, we did see a similar one early in the first quarter.
Absolutely.
From a similar angle. Farrant kicked 4 in that first quarter. And will send this one on its way.
Yep,
Wind behind his back.
Got it.
It's coming back. He loves it. And he's got 5 goals in this grand final. Patrick Farrant. He is an absolute superstar of this competition and is just tearing apart this grand final.
And was there anybody of us that named Patrick Farrant as the player of the game? We're just checking.
Yes.
So he's well on his way, I've got to say. And that was a great kick. And he's been a great kick for goal right throughout the final series. Well done to him.
The Stars have a lot of talented players, but you could have given that free kick against almost anyone, and it may have been in the top of the goal square kick, but Farrant, no problems. Now the Raiders on the back foot again. O'Sullivan gets the clearance. Jetta in the hole, was punched away from him. Bouncing ball, got through a couple. Back to O'Sullivan. Goes inside 50. And Kafari is able to take the mark. The man on the mark still a good 35. No, in fact, just inside 50 is Anthony Walker, the man on the mark. And so 2 Anthonys involved. Walker on the mark. Kafari will have the shot. He's going to have a slight angle. Will kick from just outside 50. He is against the wind this time. Kafari, 53 metres out from goal. It's not going to get there. Goes across the face. Merkel flew and then off the ground. They're happy to concede the Stars. The margin sits at 3 points.
And Kafari was the guy who was going to have a shot at goal, but had the blood rule and got sent off in the first term.
So Fitzroy Stars will clear it away from defensive 50. Looks like the option here is to go towards the broadcast side. At least that's what the Stars want. But they're not too happy with those options. But a great option to find Jetta, who's all on his own. Big talk from Neville Jetta. Bounces towards half forward. Didn't get a kind bounce for anybody. Eriksson just double fisted away, but it went straight to Farrant, who ducked and weaved brilliantly over Franz. Takes a bounce, sells some candy. Second bounce for Farrant. Sells some more candy for the goal of the grand final. He's missed to the left-hand side. That would have been it. I would have gone out there myself to give him the medal after that, because that is extraordinary. Farrant misses and the margin's at 4 points.
Oh, she showed some tricks there. That was like a dad with his 2-year-old kid playing games with him, the way he's getting around his opponents there. Unfortunately, missed the check side from wide out.
That was unbelievable. As Old Paradians look to bring the ball back into play, they're going to go right down the middle, but the Stars look to intercept. There's a big pack of players forming on top of that ball in the middle of Laylaw Reserve now. And umpire will call for it once again. So Gilmore just punches this one forward, but it lands in the hands of an opponent. It's wrapped up. Eventually does come out there. O'Sullivan's in there. He's tackled by Proctor. And umpire asks for the ball right in the middle of Laylaw Reserve. Norris and Gilmore go at it. Gilmore gets the tap down to O'Sullivan, who sends the Raiders inside forward 50. Kafari's got a defender to contend with. The Fitzroy man does very well to bring this one towards the boundary line, and it's ushered over by Colatillo. It was Walker doing the defending for the Stars. He's got the job on Kafari. And ball will be thrown back into play between wing and half forward for the Raiders, who trail in this grand final by 4 points. Gilmore takes it out, handballs to his captain in Nolan. He can't take clean possession. And it's going to be the Stars who move it forward now in favour of Carpeny. Gets a handball over the top, but the teammate eventually does take clean possession. Tries to get a handball laterally to Norris, or picks it up well. And over the top, Burns is in there. He can't take it. Nicolo cleans up for the Raiders. His kick comes off the instep, but does find a teammate in Boundy. We'll just go with the lateral kick. Burns, spoiled by Gilmore. Comes down to O'Sullivan. Goes to the outer wing, where Tolley is.
Oh, deliberate.
And there's going to be an insufficient intent free kick paid against the Raiders, and it will be the Stars have it, defensive side of centre wing, out of side.
So Jeddah, his third consecutive grand final, Neville Jeddah in the NFNL. His first, of course, in Fitzroy Stars colours. A Team of the Year member for them in 2024. Bodies flying around everywhere, ball goes out of bounds.
And Jenner has been excellent off half-back today. He's got a lot of the ball and he's used it well as a rule.
Just such a cool head down there, like he was at AFL level for such a long time at Melbourne.
So, going to get a boundary throw in. This time Pickett to do the ruck work here against Sam Gilmore. Gilmore got a hand onto it, but went to ground. Spills away from Tolley, and the Stars extract it. They can't. Umpire says, give it to me. So we're 11 and a half minutes gone in the second term of the Heidelberg Golf Club Division 3 Grand Final. The Stars lead by 4 points. Here's Winmar doing his best work to clear it away, but it'll be cut off immediately by Will Gilmore, who has it at half-back, wants to chip this ball. Cut off immediately by Carpeny. And the Stars, well, Carpeny, he's just happy to tread his way back, and
he's kicking from almost the same spot that Michael Boundy kicked a goal from in the first term. So let's see how much distance Carpeny's got in his repertoire.
Just his 9th game of the season, River Carpeny. He's been in and out of this side, 11 goals. He'll kick from a good 60 to 65 metres. Jeddah offered a short lead, it was ignored. Carpeny set sail for home. Distance is fine, but he's kicked it very wide, out of bounds on the full. So we'll reset again at the 12.5 minute mark.
So the Stars really getting on top in this second quarter, but only have a 4-point lead to show for it currently. They'll look to get a few more scores on the board in the second half of this quarter. As ball comes out of defence for the Raiders, but comes out to a big pack, and now the Stars able to rebound. Handball intercepted, Whittle's in there. Burns gets a quick kick off the deck and trickles out of bounds, and will be thrown back in.
Yeah, actually, I think the Raiders have done a reasonable job into the wind to soak up time and to chip a bit and to keep the pressure on. Let's see if they can do it for the second half of the quarter, because they'd love to go in with just this less than a goal deficit if they could.
Gilmore gets the tap down. Whittle's in there, wins it, and is
the kicking in danger. Free kick, I think.
Yeah, tried to just kick it forward to his advantage, but there was a Fitzroy player trying to take possession there. So it will be the Stars going back inside forward 50.
Oof, too wide.
And just hangs that one way out, straight over the bench, and it will be out of bounds on full. So the Raiders will get it back inside defensive 50.
And the Fitzroy Stars going forward aren't quite finding their targets, aren't quite finding the spots to kick to like they did into the wind. They need to get that right if they're going to make advantage of this breeze.
So, umpire calls the play on. Be cleared away by Rufus Jones. Goes down the line. At the back of the pack of the Stars, but great pressure from the Raiders. Sees the ball spilled. Ball hobbling around again. Umpire's paid holding the ball, in fact, so it was a late call, but it's going to go here to Phillips. So he's almost got it right in the middle of Laylor Reserve. So Phillips wants to play on quickly. Sends it inside 50, floating ball. Tough one to control for Lionel Proctor, but he did really well. And out of Stars on the rebound. Hands here for Carpeny. Goes towards half forward. Almost to Proctor. Great vision and cut off now by Gilmore of the Will variety. He's going to go short to Sean Desmond. Desmond wants to play on and will switch this ball towards half-back. Chance here for King. He's going to be under pressure by Dow. King does well. No. Mark spoiled over the line by Colatillo. As the wind really picks up now at Layla Reserve, Josh Wanganeen just letting him know about it as well. So we have a boundary throw in between wing and half forward for the Fitzroy Stars, who lead this game by just 4 points. 15 minutes gone now in this second term. Boundary throwing incoming. Gilmore gets the front spot and read in the wind best. Clearance away. Just landed here for Lytle. Proctor is going to be run down. Great tackle by the big man, Lewis Franz. And the Raiders are trying to get some momentum back in this contest. Get a hairball to Colatillo. Sends it towards half forward. Bouncing ball. Chance for Tom Cooper. Umpire says advantage paid to the Raiders. Chance here now for Merkel. 40 out from goal. Centers the kick. Diving forward is Kerr. Didn't take the mark, but it's a push in the back. And Lockie Kerr. And 50 metres. He'll make sure of it now. Lockie Kerr will kick his third in the grand final. And the Raiders are back in front in the process. 7-3-45 now. The old Paradians, the Stars are 6-7-43. 16 minutes gone, second term.
Well, I was just saying before how they're doing quite well under the wind, but now they're in front. This is a fantastic second term, or the last perhaps 5 minutes or so by the Raiders. Tremendous work by them to hit the front against the wind.
It definitely is, and we saw the firepower of Fitzroy going into the wind, and we thought they'd dominate with it in their back, but haven't been able to put those scores on the board in this second quarter. And Lockie Kerr's kicked his third of the day to put the Raiders back in front. Into the middle of Laylaw Reserve now. It's the backup rucks going at it. Neither able to get a tap down. Tolly streaming through, gets a quick clearance. It's a high kick. Kerr standing under it. Does well, asking for the high free kick, but nothing doing. The Raiders bring it out, and a smart tap over the top eventually finds its way to Proctor. He's going to send it inside forward 50. Farron's one-on-one. Gets rid of his defender and takes a strong mark on the lead. He'll line up for goal number 6.
And that's what we were talking about before the game. If you've got someone like Kane Proctor running free about 70, kicking into an open forward line, Farron's going to be very hard to stop. And here he is about 20 out on a slight angle. As Jared said, going for his 6th goal.
And put it perfectly to his advantage, did Proctor. So Farron, with the number 6 on his back, strolls in and kicks his 6th goal of the 2024 Heidelberg Golf Club Division 3 Grand Final. And it's not even half time. This is a tremendous performance from the Stars key forward. And takes his tally to 57 for the season.
And good work from the Stars once they lost the lead to get that back straight away. And now they've got another 10 minutes or so to try and establish a decent break leading into the half-time siren.
He's got 10 in his sights, Paddy Farron, because the way that he's playing is unstoppable, and he's been clinical as well. I think 6 goals, 1 maybe not even, maybe not on the full, but regardless.
I've got 6-2. I've got
6-2. 75% of them.
And including a couple of party tricks as well.
Exactly right. We're back in the middle at Laylaw Reserve. Ball gets tossed up. This time Norris getting the tap over Lewis Franz, who's doing some ruck work. Working it down low is O'Sullivan. Tried to get it over to Whittle, but it's cut off by the Stars again. They win another clearance, although that's no. Umpire says it was a throw. That's going to go against Keaton Ronan. So in the middle of the ground we go. So there's a few whistles. 50. It's going to be 50 metres. I reckon that may have been against for umpire abuse, rather. So Kyle O'Sullivan will be marched to about 30 metres out. And the Raiders can get their lead back almost instantaneously through Kyle O'Sullivan. He's kicked 11 goals this year. Had only kicked 4 senior goals prior to coming to the Raiders. But now he's looking to get his 12th of 2024, and more importantly, put Old Paradians back in front in this grand final. And he does just that. The vice-captain stands up. And the margin at 2 points in favour of the Raiders. Another lead change as we head towards time on.
Yeah, and we have got a great grand final here. That's what we were hoping for. You never know. Sometimes you think it's going to be close, and it's a little bit like the prelim last week. But this looks like going right down to the wire.
Yeah, it's the two best sides going at it, and they've had some really close matchups in the past. So we're excited to see how the rest of this half plays out. But the second half of this grand final, as the ball back in the middle of the ground here. Franz does the ruck work, just gets a quick kick out, but it's off the side of the boot. Philp misjudges that one. Eventually it comes down to Wanganeen, who gets a handball over the top, but it's pressure's being put on by the old Paradians, and Philp is tackled by Wanganeen and receives that free kick on the wing, broadcast side. And we'll look to send the Raiders back inside forward 50. Assessing his options up the ground. It's going to go, it's a 2-on-1 contest actually in favour of the Stars. Dow does well to bring it to ground. Eventually the handball comes over the top. Sells a bit of candy and sends it inside forward 50 is Ronan in the Farron direction and has landed out of bounds on the full. So a bit of a reprieve for the Raiders.
And that's twice that Fitzroy Stars have gone inside 50 and kicked it out on the full this term. They just cannot afford to do that.
So Blair Healy will have it in the back pockets for the Raiders. Umpire's going to put time back on. We're about 21 minutes now into this second term. Healy, unsure of where to go. No choice but to chip it the full 15 to Kyle O'Sullivan, who's at half-back now. O'Sullivan will chip it forward as well, but that's too high for Tolley. Went over his head, picked up by Lovegrove Hudson. Can they make him pay? Cooper, great work in traffic, but then Whittle, run down. Umpire says no prior. Just a bit of heat now. Whittle absolutely collected in that tackle as Ronan and Cooper make each other known. Norris, clever tap, just not getting the bounce was Lovegrove Hudson. In there is Williamson as well. 52 metres out, we'll have a stoppage. 21 and a half gone, second term. One of the great grand finals unfolding right in front of our very eyes. Oh, and Franz, well, that tap goes away, but I think Wanganeen may have pushed his opponent off the ball.
Yeah,
it is going to be a free kick to Philp, and 50 as well. Oh, I think that's a double as well. I think that is a double 50. That second one against the co-captain of the Stars, with Jai Birds. And we are going to be marched all the way inside 50 now. So Tom Philp, still not comfortable to take the shot. Had room in front of him, kicks it inside, mark dropped by Sam Gilmore. Chance still for the Raiders. Cooper almost read the bounce. Lionel Proctor, handball smothered. Cooper's in there again. Just got the handball away to the back of the pack. Philp, Whittle snaps with the left boot. That's not going to get to the full distance. And great mark from Boundy. Michael Boundy in the pocket. And it's a chance now for Old Paradians to extend their lead, something they haven't been able to do much of in this second term, as Michael Boundy looks for a second.
Probably could have taken his time, Philp, a moment ago and gone back and taken a shot himself, but rushed it. It did work out for the Raiders. And now Boundy will stroll in looking for his second of this grand final. Sends it on its way, but it's just out to the right-hand side. It will be another behind for the Raiders. 8-4-52 leading Fitzroy Stars 7-7-49.
Well, we've seen a comedy of errors in the last couple of minutes. Ill discipline by the Stars, giving away 2 50s and 100, and then a few mistakes by the Raiders and ending up with missing an easy shot.
It's in the middle of the ground now. King got the handball away, and the Raiders will go back inside 50 through Tolley. Sends it inside 50. Almost taking the mark though. It's going to be a high contact free kick anyway, so we're going to have it back to Jordan Proctor's hands. He's in defensive 50. He's going to handball over to Kate Proctor. And a great vision there to find Lionel Proctor, son to father. Great to see in this grand final. Lionel Proctor chips it short and finds Winmar. Winmar sends it towards half forward. Farron with 2 to beat. Front and centre. Alex Williamson takes a bounce. Open goal. Stars back in front. Perfect front and centre work from Alex Williamson. And the Fitzroy Stars get their 8th of the grand final. 8-7-55. The Old Paradians are 8-4-52. 24 and a half gone second term.
And if you were running a video of what Alex Williamson's best at, that's exactly it. At the foot of the pack, grabbing the ball, running into goal and making no mistake. Well done by Williamson.
Yeah, it was a brilliant effort to get to that contest, and everything just parted for him and was able to run into that open goal. So this, after a bit of a lull at the start of this second quarter, this grand final is fired up once again, and lead changing almost every minute as the ball goes back into the middle, and a free kick has been paid in the ruck contest. And it's going to be in favour of Sam Gilmore. Ericsson's going to get the handball. We'll send it inside forward 50. Kafari's there. Can't take the mark, and the Fitzroy defenders do really well to move this one forward again. Mark on the outer side. A long kick inside forward 50. Farrett flies for the mark, but he's got two Old Paradians defenders to contend with, and they're able to clear out of defence.
So the Raiders were trying to get their way forward, but they can't. Kick off the ground. Oh, that's a big collision. Pickett just lands the tackle, but holding the ball's the call. Great stuff by the Raiders.
Rufus Jones, I think it was. It was laying a massive tackle.
And that's a great tackle from a teenager on a much more experienced and heavier player.
So Jones will just chip it to O'Sullivan. He'll just take some heat off this game for now. The intensity here is strong. Ericsson just plucked that one. 26 gone, second term. Stars by 3 points. Ericsson down the line. Left over the back was Trajkovski, but he gave away the free kick. So Sam Gilmore will regain possession. Wanted to handball again. This time he's going to chip it towards half forward, making a lot of work there for his teammate in Tolley. Starts with the numbers, but coming in was Cooper, who was bumped high. And there's going to be a bit of remonstration for this one because Cooper's still down. We're going to have another yellow card. It is a yellow card, I think, for Gordon Bamblett as he makes his way off the ground. So that's two now for the Stars. Cole Thomas already with a yellow card earlier. Now Gordon Bamblett given the same treatment. Cooper on his feet, which is great to see. It was a high bump, no doubt.
It definitely was. Thomas, you'd have to think, would be pretty close to coming back on after his yellow card. But another big blow for the Stars with Bamblett.
So Cooper now, as we said, already kicked one this afternoon. That was just his 5th goal of the season as well. So Cooper is just going to have to wait for the umpire to mark his notes. Bamblett now off the ground.
And I think he's just a bit outside his range here into the wind, Cooper. He'd be kicking from almost 50.
So the man on the mark is just inside 50. So you're right, Doug. 45-degree angle. He's probably kicking from right on the paint or just outside 50 as time resumes. Tom Cooper, the 29-year-old in his 70th senior game. He's going to send it to the top of the goal square. In the hole was Dow. He did really well to just stick with all the contact that was coming through. It spills out the back of the pack now. He's Wanganeen. His handball is too hot for Proctor. And the Raiders can't keep that ball in play. We'll have a boundary throw in just outside 50 for the Raiders, who trail by 3 points.
So a couple of big moments here late in this second quarter. About to tick over 28 minutes gone. It is a 3-point lead to the Fitzroy Stars. But the ball will be inside forward 50 for Old Paradians. Gilmore slaps it behind, but can't find a target. Jetta's in there.
In the back.
Tackled by Colatillo and receives the free kick, does Jetta. It's going to go laterally. And Jordan Proctor just loses the bounce, gets it back, shrugs a tackle, and gets a handball over to a teammate now. But the pressure's hot from Old Paradians, and they're going to wrap things up on centre wing, outer side here at Laylaw Reserve.
Yeah, and this is the trademark of the Raiders. Great pressure, good tackling, and now they've won a free, so they're doing well.
It's Franz who has it. He's going to hit a handball over to O'Sullivan, who gets it to Ericsson. Further forward to Whittle, who gets one over to Colatillo. Handballs over the top of an opponent. Tried to get it back, but it just trickles over the boundary line. So it will be thrown back into play. About 70 around from the Raiders' goal. Kicking into the wind in the second quarter are Old Paradians, the right-hand side of your screen or radio dial, wherever you're tuning in to this Heidelberg Golf Club Division 3 Grand Final. Gilmore gets a tap down at sharked by Burns, who's wrapped up. And umpire calls for it once again. The tap goes forward in the direction of Nolan. He can't get a clean possession. Whittle at the bottom of that pack. And Kane Proctor laying the tackle. And umpire will call for another stoppage.
Yeah. And I'm not sure if it's mentioned before. We've got Blair Healy on Farron, and we've got also Declan Brunskill as the second player, if you like,
Jetta
filling the hole.
So they got the clearance to Stars, and Jetta's got it in the middle of the ground, just waiting for players to go forward. He's been given his full time available to him. Jetta goes towards half forward. That's going to be cut off by Philp. So we're about to tick into the 30th minute of the second term. Philp, great pick up there by Kerr, but lost the footy. Winmar, Nolan, Tolley. Left foot ball to half forwards, a beauty to Kafari. Goes over his head, but was confronted, and then Jetta caught high in the back line. So Jetta again has got it in defensive 50. Wouldn't be long to go, you'd think, in this incredible first half to the 2024 Heidelberg Golf Club Division 3 Grand Final. Jetta called to play on, unsure of where to go. Measures that kick well, and Trajkovski can switch it across well, and he does. And they'll just move this ball nicely at the moment. Chance now for Burns. Gets through a tackler. He goes towards half forward to Farron. Couldn't take the mark. One-handed pick up with ease and an absolutely coat-hangered. So he's going to win a free kick. And a bit more remonstration, but Pat Farron, doesn't matter what angle it is or how far out, you back him at almost any instant. And Patrick Farron now, as we tick towards half-time, he's looking for his 7th goal. You've heard that right. 7th of this grand final. 31 minutes gone, second term. Here he goes to line up in front of his Fitzroy Stars bench. Farron, tight angle, will kick from about 35 out from goal. He carves in, misses to the right. Stars 8.856, Old Paradians 8.452. 31 and a half gone, second term.
So it's that 6-3 now for Farron?
6 goals, 3.
Including probably the best point you'll ever see.
Yeah. That's right. Do we have a point of the
Might
year?
have to introduce one, though, after that.
Eriksson takes the kick out for Old Paradians, just sends a long kick to the outer side. Wind feels like it's just died down a little bit late in this second quarter, which the Old Paradians will like. They kicked with it in the first. The ball out of play on that outer side. Franz and Norris doing the ruck work for their respective sides. Norris just punches that ball towards his bench. And it goes out of bounds once again. But another opportunity here for the Stars late in this second quarter. Can't be too long left. We're about to tick over 32 and a half minutes in the second term. Ball thrown back into play. Stars looking to shark it and get a quick kick forward, but Franz is able to take it out and get some meterage for the Raiders. Merkel comes in and gives away a free kick on the outer side.
Yeah, we have had delay due to the 2 yellow cards, but even so, it must be very close to half-time.
And it will be sent inside forward 50 once again, almost taking the mark for the Stars. Quick kick towards goal. Philp does well, just gets it onto his boot, might have shinned it towards the boundary line.
That looked very ugly by Philp, but it's a great result, actually. It's a boundary thrown on the 50, and maybe the Stars might run out of time to try and kick another one before the halftime siren.
Well, let's see if that is the case, because we're now almost 33 and a half minutes in this second term. Tap coming from Franz. Burns at the back of the pack. Handball away now, and running out of room is Patrick Farron. So we're going to go again for another boundary throw-in. They have been very long quarters, but when it's been entertaining like this, we won't mind one bit if they're a bit longer than usual. Norris with a two-fisted tap, enters inside 50 as a result, and that is your siren for half-time. The Heidelberg Golf Club Division 3 Grand
through
Final.
For a goal.
Yeah, it's after the siren.
It won't count, but the Stars will take a 4-point lead into the main break. 8.856 to Fitzroy Stars. Old Paradians at 8.452. Your goal kickers so